Hello. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Scoots, and maybe you can hear Co snoring, though I just woke her up by starting to chat. Just going to go through what's coming up on Patreon this week, what's coming up in the main feed this week. I'm going to taste some Nogs plural. And I think that's it. I don't know if you can hear what are those things called? Wind chimes. It's really stormy outside. It's Sunday, December 16th, 2:42 p.m. What is it, Pacific time? So if that's the only time I'm going to be online. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Markeisha. So pop through to the chat. If you're watching on Patreon, you have to click through to YouTube to chat, or on Facebook, you got to click through to YouTube to chat. Get your merch in. This is the Sleep With Me tee, the Sleepy tee that comes in purple. Hey, Charlotte. And black. This is the black version, though my white balance looks like it's off. Pretty comfy, pretty cozy. Hey, James. This is the Sleep Phones Effortless Sleep With Me edition, only available on our store. So you can click through. I think the shipping dates, you still have a couple more days to get your order in if you do 2-day shipping for gifts for someone buying a gift. And you can click through on the links to do that, or go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/store or shop to get our merch. It's all on our Tobacco store. We sold out of our sleep spray. It should be back in stock. Not sure if it's going to be back in stock for the holidays, but hey, Sepavans. But yeah, get the shirts. This one's sweet. Comes in purple. And then we have the one I was wearing last week, the Emily Tat thing, the Bernie the Butterfly tote. So we have the Emily Tat print and a shirt. So get it in, get your merch going. Hit me with questions in the chat. I'm going to run through the weekly preview, though. Let me just switch over here to let's see. I'm over on what do you call this? Evernote. So I'm going to bounce back to the chat and YouTube in a second. Let's see. So get your holiday orders in for the merch. If you're a patron, we still have 185 as of this recording patrons whose payment info is invalid, or it could have, it doesn't mean your card's invalid. It could mean your bank is it's the holidays, so your bank's on an extra watch for suspicious transactions. So please make sure your payment went through. That's I don't even know. It's a high percentage of patrons, though. For us, it's really having an impact. So if you can check your thing, you can click on the link here on YouTube or on the Patreon thing. We did have about 17 people fix them as of last week. So that was a really huge help if you fixed your payment method. And if you're not getting the rewards or something, that would be a sign that, or if you're unable to log in. So please accept those or check that. You can click through to the sleepwithmepodcast.com/Patreon for all information on Patreon. If you are a patron, make sure you have your RSS feed set up. We did unpublish our $1 tier, like I talked about the last couple weeks. You could still create your own customized pledge. So there are still people that can have become $1 or $2 patrons. So you're able to do that. But it's just the rewards and with the goals and the sustainability around keeping them what's free and the 2 episodes a week, at 8 episodes a month. It's just like with the tests we ran with the internal pledge fund drive, it seems like what's going to be best for long-term sustainability for the show. If you're not a patron, here's what's coming up that you'd be missing out on. Tonight for patrons patrons and the free feed, because this was a quick turnaround episode. Episode 729 is the Goodplace Janet-s episode that came out last Thursday, I think, the mid-season finale. Really fun episode of The Good Place. Amazing acting. So check it out. Listen to that. You'll be listening to that tonight. $1 and up patrons, or $5 and up new patrons, get the story-only version of Stan Episode 8, which is Episode 704. Then $5 and up patrons that's Monday night, Tuesday night. $5 and up patrons get the story-only version of episode 705, The First Duty. Wednesday night is the last episode of the Happiest Holiday Shop. Let me check. I think it's called Thresholds and Gifts. It goes out to $5 and up patrons. On Thursday night, $10 and up patrons get episode 7, the story-only version of episode 374, Ray's California Adventure. So that's Ray going to California Adventure. And then Friday night, $10 and up patrons get the story-only version of episode 373, Ben's in a River. That's a Metastases episode. Whew. And then Wednesday night in the main feed is episode 730, which is Happiest Holiday Shop 3. What was the title of that? Not sure the title of that one. Came out on Patreon already. I'm looking at my notes here. I don't see it. Monchichi Fans Eve. So that's a fun one. So I think that's what's coming up. Holidays are coming up. Over the holidays, we'll have some all intro episodes, but we'll still be releasing twice a week. And I'm going to pop back to YouTube here, see what's going on in the chat. Do you accept presents from fans? People send stuff to our P.O. box. I try to check it like once a month. I don't know when the last time I was there. So I have to head over there. Thank you for that reminder. But you can send stuff to the P.O. box. I don't know the P.O. box number off the top of my head, though. It's so maybe somebody in the chat does. It's like, I don't want to give you the wrong P.O. box number. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Jem. So that's it. If anybody has any questions, you can ask in the chat. Hey, Melissa and Benjamin. I'm going to taste 2 different Nogs. I know I got some questions somewhere else. So these are the Nogs I'm going to be tasting. This is an almond Nog. I haven't had it. I had it in coffee, but I haven't had it without coffee. It's an almond beverage-based Nog. Do I have a favorite color? Probably purple because of the podcast, or black. But I'm a pretty big fan of all colors. We're going to pair that almond Nog up against this Dairy Gold old-fashioned eggnog it's from a farmer-owned cooperative, it says, but it doesn't say which one. This is a big friggin' thing of nog. But it was, I think every year I don't know if I bought this one. It was like $4.99 or $5.99. So usually I'm loath to pay that much. So yeah, hit me with questions while I get these nogs. We'll do some comparisons. I'll try to figure out how I'm going to tell the two apart. Here's our almond nog. It does have a nog-like consistency, you can see, and a nog-like color. Let's check those legs. I probably poured too much. I have a stomach ache. Yeah, so some decent legs. A little Elmer's gluey, the bouquet. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because I drank my share of Elmer's glue. And then we'll compare it to the Dairy Gold. But feel free, any questions, hit me up. Oh, this is a lot thicker. I mean, this is a pricey nog, though, so I guess I have nog bias. Well, actually, so this is a dairy nog. This is a non-dairy nog. Oh, Scarf, Marquisha is. So they look pretty similar. Let's see. I don't want to spill this on my keyboard though. Let's see the legs on this nog. Now you can see that that's definitely a dairy leave behind. This one smells a lot like my glass. Okay, I'm getting some nutmeg. So this one still smells a little bit like Elmer's glue. This one definitely has more of a nog smell. Hey, Mikkel. Is that Mikkel? All right, I'm going to taste the almond nog. Chestnuts roasting. It's a thinner experience. Michael, sorry. Hey, Michael. I would say now I know I couldn't taste it in my coffee because my coffee is very strong. It's a good attempt. If you don't drink dairy, I think you could probably make your own, like you could use this as a foundation. Or if you don't drink dairy or eggs, thanks, Will. It's not bad. I mean, I probably should be drinking this instead of getting in a bathtub and drinking a quarter gallon of nog like I do. Spoiler alert, that's why I pass my time. Oh wow, actually the later aftertaste, it has a pretty good later taste. And I mean, let's see how sugary it is. Wow, it's only 8 grams of sugar. So this is probably like a good nog. Here's what I couldn't say on the podcast. What if we mash nog and compromise together? Nogramize. A nogramize. It's a pretty good nogramize. Who was the villain in Scooter's 2019 holiday series that comes out a year from now? Nogramize. Or the Nogramizer. I don't think it would be fair to do a tit for tat taste of those nogs because that one wouldn't stand a chance. So this one is the dairy-based nog. This one I'm going to have to drink slowly. Whoa. Whew. That's if you ever wonder what the face I make after I kiss somebody is, it's pretty close to this. Holy moly. I mean, this tastes like a milkshake. Maybe it's because I had the almond nog first. Okay, so I got to balance it back out. It is a very good cream flavoring. Here's a good thing. It's not too sweet. It's like an issue with a lot of nogs that I come across. No, this one's good. Whew, that's my good face. That's what I look like when I'm in a good mood. This is really, I mean, this is a good nog. I don't know if I could, Die Hard Puns, I don't know if I could like, I'm like, my nog memory is 0.0. So it's like, but I mean, this is definitely, I don't know. It's hard not to put it up against another like expensive nog. It is definitely a superior nog though. I am 5'11.5. Marcusio. I mean, this is a really good nog because the last time I had one that was decent, it was too sweet, way too sweet. It's a really balanced. I'd say it's a well balanced nog. Could use a little more spice. I mean, I like a little kick, but yes, Sazim 20. I mean, I don't have any secrets for falling asleep fast. It takes me forever to fall asleep. For me, I try to be in bed. And if I get ready to go to bed an hour before my bedtime, I'm in good shape. I haven't never made my own nog. I've contemplated it. I've even gone as far as looking up recipes. But I guess like, you know, they say, Scoots, you got to have a more balanced life. You got to have more. So buying nog and tasting it on these previews is my hobby. I'm a nog hobbyist. So if I made my own nog, or maybe I'm a like a Nog fan. Holy cow! We already had somebody's got to help me with these. Remember these? We could 2019 another holiday episode could be NogCon, NOGCON, NogCon. Do I listen to the pod? Yeah, Nog enthusiast. That's what I was. No, I mean I don't listen to podcasts at bedtime. I couldn't sleep. I just maybe an episode about making Nog. I just recorded a real-time recipe episode this week. So I have 2 ready for 2019. Whew, the Nog's catching up with me. No, I can't fall asleep to the podcast, though, Michael, because I'd be listening too much, not in a hypercritical way, but in a way of like trying to monitor, oh, what jokes did I miss or what could have been a little bit better. I'm not super critical, but I'm super attentive when I'm listening. So it doesn't really make me sleepy. Like sometimes at bedtime, I would put it on. Nogologist. That's like that would be if I was going undercover in a comedy movie, and I was trying to sneak into a restaurant. You know, it'd say, "Yeah, I'm here from the Nogology Institute. I'm here to check your nogs." I could be a nag. Thank you, Square Rabbit. But yeah, I can't listen to the podcast at bedtime. Hit me with questions. I'm going to just pop around. Yeah, I do listen to some. I don't know. My problem with the sleep stuff on Spotify is like I'll try to get some. I can't get it not to like. I've tried to do the right crossfade settings so if I'm looping something, I can't hear the loop or any gaps because that's what wakes me up if I'm doing like a box fan or they have a couple of good industrial fans, but they either fade out or whatever. Fishing. I don't know if I'm quite knocking the knocks. Who would have known that nog the word? I mean, the word nog is pretty good. School of Hard Knocks. That's pretty funny too. Okay, let me. I'm gonna pop over. I just want to see. I thought I got a long question from someone that I couldn't answer. I know I answered a question last week, but so I'll be back in the chat here. I'm just checking some other social media things. Chestnuts roasting. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, that doesn't have any questions there. Ba 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 ba. Can you hear Ko snoring when I stop singing? Okay, I don't see any questions in there. My email is like so packed. I don't think I've gotten any email questions. Ba 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 ba. Do 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 da do. Oh, here's a question I have. Like, does anybody use any CBD for anything? Like, the endocannabinoid, however you say it. That was a question I was going to ask people. Just trying to see what people's feelings are about CBDs. CBD, the East Coast family, never hip to be. Wow. While figuring out stuff on beep, 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 ba-da-ba, beep. Okay, I'm back. School of Hard Knocks. What's my favorite time of year? Probably not the time I'm in, like whatever I'm anticipating. I don't know. I like being outside, so I think I'm lucky that I like the changing of seasons. But I think I like spring and summer and fall better than winter. Though it's nice. It's raining really hard outside right now. Excuse me. That was the Nog talking for real. What's up, Patrick? Audiobooks on YouTube. Noggin for Nog. Yep. That would be like a game show. Noggin. It sounds like you'd name a wagon that. I don't know why. I mean, What's that? What do you call your wagon? The noggin. Don't come a noggin when the noggin's noggin. Ba 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 boo boo boo. You don't see any questions. Let me just check Patreon messages. I'll pop back to chat row. Yeah, I've been seeing it more and more, and we have companies reaching out to, like CBD companies reaching out to us about partnering with the podcast. So I'm just trying to get a general idea of where people fall on it. It's just like this industry that is like blown up. Boo 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 dee ba da ba da da dee. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, I don't see any questions there. So it does help with anxiety. Oh, it's Aqua Rabbit. It's just my dyslexia. Because because the SQU, I think the R, my dyslexia took the R from the rabbit, doubled it, and yeah, good old Aqua Rabbit. Ba 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 ba. I'm checking one more place where I might have questions here. Sorry. Okay, I don't see any questions. I was just doing a quick question scan. Okay, hit me with the question, Aqua Rabbit. I'm here. I'm in. Or Square Rabbit. If Square Rabbit's out there, hit me with a question. Ba 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 ba. I guess I was snogging. I snogged my nog. My daughter, did I say she wasn't doing fine? I don't think she's had any problems. She's just an 11-year-old. An actual letter, you could send it to the P.O. box, but I don't know the P.O. box off the top of my head. If someone regularly, it's either, let me see if email, you could just send it through Patreon is the easiest way, or dearstscooter@gmail. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, Brandon, you got to find whatever works for you. Cool. I hope everybody's having a decent holiday season. I know it's not always the easiest time for everybody, but you know, we're all out there trying to be human. I'm glad the podcast can be there. Put whoever needs to sleep. I'm going to be hopping back to work, but if anybody has any questions in the next minute or two, I'm happy to answer them. I just recorded today episode 3 of season 2 of Big Farm in the Sky PI. So that'll be oh, cool. Yeah, just you can email it to me. So the next episode of Big Farm in the Sky PI is coming out. Is there any way to listen to the show without music? Is there a special player one that adjusts the volume automatically? Without any music at all, like the best bet is to, like, without any music at all, the easiest thing to do is to, if you're a patron, is to just listen to the story only episodes and make a playlist of story only episodes. If you're not a patron, if you're a $5 patron, you get 2 story only episodes a week. If you're a $10 patron, you get 3 2 to 4, depending on the week. What do you mean it doesn't work? If you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/Patreon-FAQ, and then you just add your feed to the to a podcast app. If it doesn't work, Patreon will help you. You could just go, if you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/Patreon-FAQ, the episodes that are story only, at the beginning it says story only episode from. So those come out, story only episodes come out on Monday, Tuesday. What podcast app do you use? But yeah, those would be let me just check my podcast app to see what it looks like in there. Thanks. Thank you. War and Peace. I will try that. Yeah. I mean, do you have your RSS feed set up in a podcast app? Like, I'm not sure if I should. How should I call you? Zoo? Let's see what it looks like in my app. So, like on my app, I don't know if it'll come up on the screen. See, it says story only. This is story only. Yeah, if you have it set up, you should be getting, like, depending on what level you're at, it should just, like, as long as you're subscribed in your podcast app, it should say like something like patron feed. But yeah, that's the easiest way to avoid the music. That's kind of the reason I designed the story only episodes, for people that want to avoid the music. So it's kind of like a built-in thing. I mean, the other option is to just start the podcast at like 18 to 20 minutes. Zuzi. Okay. But yeah, once you have it in the app, just depending on what the app you have, you could just create playlists within the app. Just follow like whatever. What podcast app do you use? Are you using an iPhone or an Android phone? Thanks. Is that Amisari? I will try to have a lovely holidays. Big Farm in the Sky's coming back out. Good night, Michael. Zuzi, though, is it? Do you have a Android or Apple phone? Just trying to walk you through it while I have you here. Android. And then what podcast app do you use? Yeah, I mean, some people, music doesn't work for. And then, like, I get videos of people like singing the credits music too. So it's kind of like that's a good thing about the Patreon. Is there a better one than, which podcast app are you using though on your phone to listen to the podcast? Because as long as you have an Android phone, your Patreon feed will work with it. I don't have an Android phone handy, but I know Podcast Addict is a free Android. And what do you call it? And so you added the Patreon one. If you added the Patreon one to that, then it should work. Or you could try Podcast Addict and add your Patreon feed to Podcast Addict. If you just go to your Google Play Store or your Android. Yeah, I mean, it's easy. our FAQ and how to get a hold of the support team is on that site. But it's pretty straightforward. If you have an Android phone, you could try out Podcast Addict, or because I'm not familiar with like that app. It might be a built-in app. But once you add the podcast feed from Patreon to your Podcast Addict, then you could kind of just create story-only playlists, and all of it's on YouTube. I mean, most of the questions, like a lot of times, if you get stuck, you could go to Patreon support, or YouTube's always a good place. Yeah. I mean, like you could try loading the Patreon FAQ page, and then just opening up a support thing with Patreon. But it's just a matter of taking your Patreon RSS feed and adding it to that podcast app or another podcast app, and then just listening to the story-only episodes. But it's just like I can yeah, or try the FAQ first, and see if it works with the app that you have, and then try Podcast Addict. Let's see. That one is a free, well-liked app that I know the Patreon feed works with. And then, yeah, don't hesitate to contact support, because they're there to help you. So, especially if the music's bothering you, that's what I designed the Patreon for, some of the rewards. So you could just load it up, and they'll be there to help you. Cool. And yeah, don't hesitate to follow up, like with me through Patreon, through the messaging in Patreon too. But yeah, that'd be great Susie, if we could get you set up, you'll be sleeping even better. Cool. Well, that's like a time for me to get on to my next work task for the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you for the support. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for your kindness and great questions. Oh yeah, it's always better to just ask for help, Susie. Like if you're having issues, like, because yeah, like it's like hard. I never know if people are having issues, and if it's like if you reach out, either me or Patreon can fix it for you. Thanks, Aqua Rabbit. Thanks, Susie. And thanks everybody else for coming. And have yourselves a great a holiday season. Bo, 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 bo. You know, keep your nog. Yeah, do some self-care for your nog. Thanks, everybody.